Hey everybody, yet another game in the Wheezy 120, still platooned up with Alleviated Risk. This time he's brought his Tortoise instead of his T-30. We are on Fisherman's Bay, which is again a rather, not poor, but a challenging map in this tank, because a lot of where the action goes down, particularly if you're in a medium tank, is quite hilly terrain. You can go city, but in a medium tank, that's kind of tempting fate. You tend to get dogpiled by heavies. However, while this tank might not have gun depression, it does have pretty decent camo, so I can still use it to go to my usual spotting position and get some quick spots off, as well as maybe a shot or two. Only real threats I can see on the enemy team are their E50 and their Jagdpanzer 2. There's a few other players on their team who are passable, but those two are going to be, I think, the main problem. So straight away I spot a JT88 and an E75. Neither of them spot me in return until I do that. The E75 does put a shot into me, but I return the favour, and it turns out that my gun is a lot bigger than his. He is still mounting the 105mm gun, and in fact he also low-rolled me. That was an ideal trade there. 925 damage for 317, I will definitely take that. Looking for a shot on the JT, but there's a shed or something in the way between this corner of this building and where he is. But I can see that the AT-15 is about to pop out from behind this house, so I take aim on the corner and sure enough put a shell straight into his side. 3 shots and I've already done nearly 1400 damage. That's why I love this tank. Got an awful lot of shit on the west flank. Actually, looking at it now, I didn't notice this during the match, but we have 3 mediums. 3 medium tanks, including a top tier medium tank on the west side. We have very little in town, and our 416 is going town while our E50 goes west. That's all wrong, all backwards. The 416 should be west since it has no armor and exceptional camo. The E50 has no camo and exceptional armor for a medium. They should be reversed. But then again, there really shouldn't even be mediums on the west flank. Doesn't matter though, because my team has me. And while I might be driving a medium, I hit like a heavy. The combination of a heavy tank's gun, and medium tank's mobility, and camouflage, that's an important note, really does make this something quite special for filling gaps in shitty pubby teams. I roll out and take a shot into the E75 since he's got his turret broadside and he's the bigger threat. 416 Erotic Curry Fart 2697, it's an excellent name, manages to take the AMX M4, then I circle around the back of the E75 and high roll in, but just miss out on the kill. JT88's a threat. They don't have armor, they don't have really alpha either, but they do have DPM. They fire extremely fast, like so. I never actually noticed it until the first time I got tracked in front of one, but I know just from some quick math that I can quite comfortably kill him before he kills me. Perhaps a little careless on the hit points, but somehow our team has caused theirs to failure cascade, even though ours was deployed in the dumbest way I could possibly imagine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 medium tanks on the western flank, plus 3 tank destroyers and our Audi. Including 2 E50s. Both our E50s are west. What the fuck? I didn't even notice this the first when I played this match, or the first time I ran the replay through to just get it to run smoothly. I honestly did not even spot that. I wasn't paying attention. But holy fuck. Alright, I'm gonna chalk our win up to my gun then, because there's no way. There's no way that should have worked. Anyway, I had some shots into the enemy Wheezy. He has the 100mm gun. The 122 physically cannot roll that low. Its lowest roll is over 300. But even though I know he's unlikely to kill me in his next shot, I back into cover for a moment, just long enough to let risk roll in and finish him off. As you could see there, when I reversed into cover, even though I wasn't fully hull down, so to speak, I still couldn't depress my gun. That's the trade-off you get for having this massive alpha. Speaking of massive alpha, so far I've done just shy of 5,000 damage in 11 shots. That's a result anyone's got to be happy with. Looks like nearly every single one of my shots was a decent roll too. So I am certainly not going to complain about that. I was hoping to get the Artie there, but it just wasn't happening. The Leo is too far away for me to get, and so I'm not going to get any more damage. Just managed the Object 416 for somebody playing with the idiot gun, the stock gun. He actually did pretty well. He helped me out quite a bit there with the cleanup in town. By all rights, that should have been a loss. The enemy team weren't that bad, to be honest. They had a good medium player, a decent medium player, a good tank destroyer, and then some decent lower tier stuff. I mean, yeah, they had a lot of yellows and oranges and reds in there, but so did we. Ultimately, our team was a little better off because they had our platoon, so Risk and myself, you know, kind of tipped it in our favour, I think. But just looking at the numbers, really that match could have gone either way, and looking at the way our team deployed, it should have gone towards the enemy team. They should have won that comfortably. But I guess the perfect storm of a stock E75 who didn't know how to play his tank, our western push being spearheaded by a pair of E50s who actually had at least some vague idea of what they were doing, and then myself rolling through town with this big gun. It all added up, and it was too much for the enemy team to stand up to. So I suppose you should never really count your eggs before they hatch, or count your chickens before they hatch, even. Because sometimes weird shit just happens. Again, this is the West server. Weird shit happens on West all the time. It's fucking bizarre. But, I mean, if you play this game, and if you played for any length of time in particular, I'm sure you would have looked at the minimap and seen the way our team deployed and thought that it could really not possibly end well. But weird shit happens. You know, at least once or twice you will eventually see a Valley Rush win Lakeville, or something stupid like that. It shouldn't work, and it generally doesn't work, but sometimes the enemy team is just... I don't know. I honestly don't know. It was a failure cascade. That's the only real way to describe it. I mean, by the time we finished in town, half their team was missing. And it shouldn't have been. I don't know why it was. The tanks in town were disorganized. I mean, you saw the E75, the AMX, and the other guys there were all engaging different targets. The JT-88 was pulled so far back he couldn't effectively protect the other tanks around him. It was just a mess. There was no support, no mutual support whatsoever. There was no real rhyme or reason to what they were doing. They just drove into town and started pointing their guns in random directions, and you can't really get away with that. I suppose actually that explains why our west push was successful. It seems that our team did have some kind of cohesion over there. Certainly our E50 is not bad, at least on paper he's not bad. I haven't actually checked his in-depth stats, so I can't speak with authority, but you know, I guess our team actually just concentrated their fire and pushed through as a group, whereas the enemy team were spreading damage and not really putting any effort in. It's something I've run into on West a lot. Teams don't really put much effort into the game. Particularly the lower in tier you get, if you assemble a platoon of 3 players about my skill level, and then you play, say, tier 5 or tier 6, you'll just face roll everybody. In a lot of games you won't even try. Hellsaw got frustrated and rage quit because he couldn't get the ace badge in his SU-85I. There just was not enough damage because our team was rolling the enemy over so fast. By the time he got to the front and started putting shots out, half their team were dead already. It was unbelievable. I mean, I was just autopiloting through the game, and I was ending up cleaning up. There was one match where the enemy team did, I think, 60 more damage total than I did. And then we had at least one game where we were the only people in the match with over 50% win rate. And then there was a match where Hellsaw had more W&8 than 13 of the enemy players combined, which was fucking spectacular. You see some weird shit on West. I really don't like playing on it because of that. It's just not fun to either be rolled every time because your team is useless, or to roll the enemy team and not have any fight put up. I mean, if I wanted to do that, I'd just go play a game where I can bot farm. Bot farming isn't fun. Shooting things that shoot back at you is. That's why I play this game. I'd rather not just roll over an enemy team without any challenge. Anyway, as ever, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Best of luck in the field. See you next time.